Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 57, Chapter 32, Kalina. Lying in front of the roaring fire Sigurd and Hawk had created, and eating a bite of rabbit Adelina had caught, Willow said, "Tell us all about yourself, Kalina." "I'm not interesting," Kalina demurred. "I'm much more interested in you 3, or 4, if you count Adelina. I want to know everything about you all." Sigurd opened his mouth to answer, but Willow cut him off. "We'll be happy to, after you tell us about you." Kalina began to object, but stopped when Willow said, "You have to see it from our perspective. We're being hunted, for lack of a better term. Before we can really tell you anything, we need to know we can trust you. I know you'd do the exact same if you were in our place." "You're right," Kalina said. "If I were you, I'd keep everything close to the chest, too." "And what a magnificent chest it is, too," Val murmured. "Val," Willow chastised, "I'm not dead. I can see she's got a nice rack. So do the boys, especially your lover boy over there. He's having a hard time keeping his eyes off of them." Willow glanced over at Sigurd to see if Val was right. Sigurd did indeed have a problem keeping his eyes off Kalina's breasts, even though they were completely covered by her dress. Willow was barely able to conceal the disgust she felt. Were big breasts all guys cared about? "I was born and grew up in Eldrun with my parents and nanny." "Eldrun? Isn't that the capital city?" Hawk asked, looking at Kalina suspiciously. "It is, but that doesn't mean every person living within the city limits is loyal to the Queen or agrees with her policies. For generations my family has lived in Eldrun waiting for the day we would be able to help overthrow the Queen." "You're trying to tell us you want the Drivian King to rule Alfeyju," Hawk said. The tone of his voice told everyone he didn't believe her. "It's true," Kalina said emphatically. "Before the Great War, my family was working for the king. Over the years, we've continued gathering information, trying to thwart the Queen whenever we could. We haven't always been successful, but we've tried." "In what ways?" Sigurd asked. Kalina was silent for a second before she said, "Did you ever hear of Admiral Ran and the sinking of the Blood-Ughara?" "My memory is correct. Admiral Ran lived 100 years ago, and she did along with her crew when their ship struck large underwater rocks," Sigurd said. "The way I heard it, the water where the wreck took place turned red with the blood of the victims for a week. Every year on the anniversary of the tragedy, the water turns red in memory of the event. None of the local fishermen dare go onto the water on that day, for they are terrified the gods will kill them or poison any fish they bring in." "I've heard the same stories, though Mistress Astrid said the wreck wasn't an accident. She swears it was intentional," Hawk said. "Your Mistress Astrid is quite correct. My great-grandfather on my father's side was a map maker for the Navy. He knew of the rocks and failed to draw them onto the map. He even went so far as to personally assure the admiral that the area was quite safe and clear of obstacles. But wouldn't he have been questioned and killed if what you say is true? Willow asked, fascinated by the story. He was questioned, and there was talk he'd be charged with a crime, but there was no evidence. The copy of the map remaining on land showed the rocks quite clearly, and the map which didn't sunk with the admiral, Kalina said. Why did he want to kill Admiral Ran? Willow asked. What was so special about her? She was very close to the queen of her time, closer than the queen's own sister. It was rumored they were lovers and planned to join their two families through marriages between their children. My great-grandfather, along with everyone working for the royals, knew this merging of families would create an even stronger monarchy. With the admiral's death, the queen lost all of her pull over the admiral's son, who had only been considering marrying the queen's daughter because of his mother. And later decided to not marry the daughter, Willow finished. I'm willing to bet he married someone else, someone of his choice, someone his mother most likely wouldn't have approved of. Yes, he did, and the queen's daughter married the son of one of her generals. It was a good match, and they were very happy together, but it wasn't the outcome the queen had been hoping for, Kalina finished. My family and others like us have been behind many other incidents since the war officially ended. Why are you here, then? Sigurd asked, looking confused. By all appearances, you could do so much more from within the capital than you could ever do out here in this forest. What brought you here? My parents are old and unable to work, so I took a job in the palace. What has that got to do with anything? Sigurd asked impatiently, but Willow could connect the dots. What do you do there? Hawk asked, obviously also seeing the potential connection. Whatever they need me to do. I've worked in the kitchens, served meals, cleaned rooms. I've even been a message taker. If it's a job requiring low skills and little responsibility, I've done it. But why? Sigurd asked. You have fighting skills. You're a warrior. You shouldn't be doing menial tasks for the queen or anyone else. You sweet man, Kalina said, licking her luscious lips. I am very flattered, but you've forgotten what I've told you about my family. I do the jobs I'm asked to do because I can overhear information I'd be unable to gather from outside the palace. With this information, I can continue trying to hinder any actions the queen undertakes. This innate drive to destroy the queen that I learned from my relatives is why I'm here. I want to help you, she said, looking at Willow, on your quest. See, I told you she'd bring up coming with us, Val said triumphantly. What exactly did you overhear in the palace? Willow asked, not commenting on her request. When I'm off, I hide in the shadows of the palace's main hall. On one such occasion, I overheard the queen talking to Lord Alvis. He was furious that you'd gotten away from him and made him look like a fool. If he ever gets his hands on you, he'll kill your men and torture you until he's finished extracting his revenge, and then he'll kill you too. Nice to know his future plans, but you haven't answered my question. Kalina's eyes narrowed for a split second. The queen was expectedly not happy with you or Lord Alvis, but she said she'd received a missive telling her where you were headed. She ordered Lord Alvis to send her best men to intercept you and either kill or capture you. At that second, I realized my true path lay in seeking you out and helping you along your quests, not in staying in the castle. Why? What have you to offer us? Hawk asked. I know almost everything there is to know about the Nanford royal family and the capital city. If we ever need to get into Eldrun, the palace, or any of the other royal residences, I will be invaluable. I've been in most of the royal homes and know the security. I can also fight, as I showed in today's battle, and it never hurts to have another person defending you. I will be willing to do whatever you need me to do in order to further your quest, Kalina said passionately. What about your family? If we are captured, or word of your presence with us gets back to the queen, they could be harmed, Sigurd said. They're safely with my nanny. Nobody would willingly cross my nanny, not if they want to live.
When the enemy realizes you're with us, it will be too late to turn back. Heck, it might already be too late, Hawk said. A few soldiers ran away, and I could only guess what they're telling their superiors.
If you're right, I might as well stay with you, Kalina said. It is always better to be with a group than travel alone, and if they do know about me, I'm in as much danger as any of you. Perhaps even more, for I'm openly turning my back on the Queen. Hawk, Sigurd, and myself will need a few minutes alone to discuss this, if you don't mind, Willow said after a short silence. I'll go and see if I can get more firewood, Kalina said, getting to her feet without a fuss. Take Adelina with you, Willow said. It's not safe to go out in the dark alone, and she'll be able to protect you if anything happens. I would be honored if Lady Adelina accompanied me, Kalina said. Great, Adelina said. I've got to babysit the stranger while you talk around the warm fire. What's wrong with this picture? Go. I'm sure Val will fill you in on our conversation. I, for one, don't even know why you're going to talk anything over, Val said. I already know what the final result will be. You'll buy her story and welcome her into the fold. Not necessarily, Val laughed. You humans are so predictable. Of course you're going to. I sense Hawk isn't sure about her, but Sigurd will insist on including the buxom blonde on our adventures. Why'd you ask Kalina to leave? Sigurd asked. Anything we say we could have said in front of her. Do you trust her that much? Hawk asked. Of course, don't you? Not really. We just met her. We have no idea if she's telling us the truth or lying. For all we know, she could be a spy from the Queen herself, sent to relay information back to the enemy. Then why would that soldier have almost killed her? Willow asked. Maybe he didn't mean to injure her, and in the heat of the battle it happened. I don't have all the answers. I'm only saying we shouldn't be so open and inviting to strangers, Hawk said. You were this mistrustful toward me when we first met, but after a while you came to trust me and see me for the honest person I am, Sigurd said. And remember your first thoughts about Aluak? You thought he was leading us into a trap. You, my friend, have a problem trusting people. You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't, just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude. Be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.